Texans go to the Vikings.
Mm.
Are the Vikings legit? Before we even
Yes.
talk about the game, are the Vikings legit? Hey, let me hear it.
Yes, Sammy D is the truth.
He's making
He is.
throws that we don't see out of some of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. I mean,
it's revenge season, man. I mean, he got cut by the 49ers, and he had the year to learn how to play football because he wasn't going to learn how to play football with the Panthers and with the Jets. So, and you know, they don't have a lot of weaponry necessarily, but I mean, Jalen Naylor is kind of filling in that role. And then, I mean, Jettis is Jettis. I know he had a thigh contusion, but I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're legit. They're 100% legit, and I'm proud of them. However, the Texans are better.
Okay, I was waiting for that.
I think that like I saw on DraftKings, the Texans are 2.5-point favorites, and the Vikings are at home. So I think that people will see that and the recency bias success of the Vikings just beating the 49ers. And a lot of people, I wouldn't be surprised if most of the tickets were on the Vikings here. I don't know what they are, but I'm going to fade that, and I'm going to think the Texans.
Well, it's interesting that you brought that up. We'll go ahead and we'll do like a reverse breakdown of our normal sequence, but 79% of the money is on the Vikings, but only 33% of the tickets is on the Vikings.
Yeah, there's heavy people in Minnesota, rich people in Minnesota going crazy right now.
Yeah, they're throwing bags, I guess. So, okay, let's walk it back. Vikings, like you said, are 2.5-point home underdogs in Minnesota. Texans travel in. Point total sitting at 45.5. The model projections are showing about a 3-point win for the Texans, 24-21. Has a high yards per play out of the model for the Vikings at 5.29, 4.96 for the Texans. But the model likes for the Texans, it can kind of control the clock a little bit, and obviously more plays forecasted for the Texans out of due to that. But I agree. It's tough because, you know, I am going to take the Texans here. I think they win in a close one. I just think the Texans defense is so much stronger than people like to give them credit for. I think they saw that a little bit against the Bears. I mean, dude, you have a pass rush with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter on opposite sides of each other. It's just so hard to defend, you know, as an offensive line. So I want to be able to pick the Texans to win and to cover here. I'm doing that, but I also don't want to take away from the success that the Vikings have had against the odds, nonetheless. You know, Sam Darnold was not supposed to be the starter. You know, they had the horrible news with the, you know, one of their draft picks dying in a car crash. Awful. Of course, they lost Jordan Addison to an ankle injury, and then they're just like they have a slew of other injuries that have happened in the offseason. Some of their defensive guys, but against all odds, they're standing here, you know, ready to make a push in that division. I love this team. I'm excited for them. I think Kevin O'Connell is a great play caller, but I do think the Texans steal one on the road against the Vikings. I just think that they do so many different things well, and I think they're kind of going to control the clock. It's going to be so the model has this as a high scoring game. I think there will be points scored, but I don't think it's going to be like a shootout like we anticipate out of the Lions and the Cardinals game. I think the defenses step up in this game a little bit more than what is anticipated. Both defenses are actually really, really strong. Vikings even kind of surprised here. They're second overall on EPA margin allowed on the defensive side of the ball, and they're fourth overall in total defensive success rate, which is inherently just offensive success rate allowed. But I like the Texans. I like them to control the clock, and I think they just have more playmakers on both sides of the ball. So give me the Texans. Give me them boys.
It'll be interesting on the running game. I know Aaron Jones doesn't have a questionable tag on him, but he did get banged up slightly. And I don't think there's a major drop-off if Ty Chandler takes the bulk of the carries. But on the other side, Joe Mixon should be out a couple weeks, so we'll have to see if the Texans are able to. I don't think they need to run the ball in order to win, but especially with the Vikings secondary. But you know, that'll be a tell also.
Yeah, give me the our projections are accounting for Jefferson in the mix. He'll be healthy. He'll be playing. It was just a quad contusion, so just dropping that out there. We do expect Jefferson to be on the field. So That's important.